Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today on this Friday. It is Friday. It doesn't feel like Friday today, but it is Friday, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you guys can possibly do that. It is the 6th of June. We've got 4 days until this window closes, guys. So it will close for a few days and reopen on the 16th of June, guys. So it is looking pretty good for Manchester United at the moment. Lots of positivity coming out of the club at the moment. And you know what's key? The biggest thing that's key for me is that I'm seeing a breakdown from rival fans. I'm seeing a breakdown from media. I'm seeing them like, I mean, all these excuses coming out of the sun. Now, Man United are paying them Bremo 250 grand a week. Gyökeres, he's only going to Man United because we're going to pay him blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, look, they've not got a leg to stand on. Man United still have that pull. We still have it. And it's really good to see, to be honest. And it's really good to see the meltdown. And no matter what people say, where we've been, 15th in the league, we haven't had the best of times over the last decade. Manchester United will still be Manchester United at the end of the day. How long that will last, I don't know. But Manchester United still have the pull. We're still the biggest club in the world. Regardless what people want to say, we're still the biggest club in the world. And, if it became between Newcastle and Manchester United, people are going to pick Man United. 9 times out of 10, they're going to pick Man United over Newcastle. Maybe the likes of Man City, maybe even slightly Arsenal might be a little bit of a different 50-50 kind of scenario. Man City are quite good at acquiring players. So it might be difficult to get players away from them if they come in with a bid. But to get Gyökeres, if Manchester United get Gyökeres, Cunha and Bremo, look, we're not going to get every deal done by this preseason. We need 5 or 6 players. We're not going to get everything done by the preseason. And what I would say is that 3 of these players, if we get Gyökeres, Cunha, we got Cunha already. If we get Bremo and Gyökeres, those 3 in before the preseason, I think, look, we have to hold our hands up and you have to say, well, they've done pretty well. But I'm not going to be singing and dancing because at the end of the day, this is what Manchester United should be doing. This is the type of deals Manchester United would have been doing anyway. You know what I mean? Even if we had rich ownership, etc., we probably wouldn't be doing more. But it would be fantastic if we do get Gyökeres, if we do get Cunha and then Bremo. The difference that will make to the team is absolutely night and day. And you can imagine what how rival fans would be when they see the likes of Cunha, Bremo, and Gyökeres up front. It would be absolutely phenomenal, guys. Absolutely. Guys, hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's see who's commenting. Big up, everyone. Big up, fan. Big up, everyone. Big up, guys in the house. Big up, Sanjay. What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sal. The Fantastico. Big up, GK. You're the Fantastico. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, all fellas. Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating, of course. Eid Mubarak. Hope you have a blessed Eid, my friends and family. Big up, fan. Hope you're doing well. And so I spread the love and the news, brother. Big up, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Randy. Big up, my brother. What's going on, Randy? Good to see you, mate. Good up, big up, Sniper Man. What's going on, my friend? I recently started watching Ted Lasso. I finished watching Ted Lasso a long time ago. KG, the comedians and that. I recently started. I won't tell you how it ends. Absolutely. Kenny, top of the morning to you. Did you hear EFC saying that the 15th place Man United doing better business over schedule Arsenal? I heard it, and one thing that not Terry, what's his name? I've forgotten his bloody name. Robbie. One thing that Robbie said, which was true. Well, Robbie said that we are still Manchester United. Lee Cotton, obviously said that we are Manchester United as well, and Manchester United still have that pull. We do. We still have that pull, despite what any rival media want to say, what any rival fan want to say. We still have that pull. We are still Manchester United. We're still, got that attraction, And I could see Man United doing really well this transfer window. And I did say it, guys. And, people were telling me just weeks ago, we got no money, Sal. We got no money. I said, listen, don't be fooled by that nonsense. I said, we've got money to spend and we're going to spend about 200 million. And that, you know what, we might even spend more if we manage to get rid of Rashford and we manage to get rid of Anthony and we manage to get rid of Sancho. We're going to spend around 200 million. And in theory, we spent about 120 already. We bring Gyökeres in. It's 200 million, isn't it? So at the end of the day, look, people were just jumping on this media hype train that, oh, we got no money. We got money. There's a business manipulation. And I told you people that. And I read between the lines. Absolutely. Big up, Coco. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. United are one of 4 teams in the world who can tier 3 and still have the ball. It's football heritage. Absolutely. People forget about that, fan. People forget about football heritage. This is what it is, man. Newcastle United fans, they're losing their rag. We didn't want him. He wanted 250 grand a week, blah, 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 when that's an absolute lie. And, they're just trying to save face, as I said yesterday. They're trying to save face because they were rejected by Mbeumo. They wanted Mbeumo. Of course they wanted Mbeumo. What team doesn't want Mbeumo? What team doesn't want Cunha and Gyökeres? You know what I mean? Come on. It doesn't fathom how anyone could not. They were meltdown. They were meltdown. Loads of people are meltdown. Arsenal fans were meltdown. Look, guys, what I would say. Also, do you think Ronaldo is going Europe? He wants it. He wasn't want Saudi. Doesn't want Saudi. He probably go to Sporting Lisbon. If I'm being honest, he might go back home to Sporting Lisbon. Now, look, in regards to the meltdown and in regards to Gyökeres, yeah, Gyökeres could still sign for Arsenal. So I'm not going to jump too much, right? Because it is early days. I've always said that that they had a gentleman's agreement. I've said it months ago that Amorim and Gyökeres have a gentleman's agreement. I've been saying that. They speak often on the phone. They speak. If I was a fly on the wall, I would tell you what they said. But they do speak quite often. And hopefully the powers of persuasion is that he comes to Manchester United. Nothing is signed, sealed, delivered yet. Arsenal could still come in. Chelsea could still come in. Heck, even Manchester City could still come in. Can you imagine? But one thing's for certain is that I believe that Man United have the front running in regards to this. They have the advantage in regards to this. And I've always said that. There were many people here who were talking about we got no money. And at the end of the day, I told you guys we got money. We're broke FC, everything. Kenny, you were talking about Gyökeres last week. You were telling me we're broke. I told you guys we're not broke. And this is the what business people do. They hide money. You know what I mean? They hide money and they manipulate. For example, I did say, I know it's a far-fetched thing, but I did say that the sacking of 200 members of staff could be a manipulation tactic so that it gives the illusion that we've got no money. So if we don't spend money sufficiently, they're going to say, well, we had to sack 200 staff, we got no money. But I think that is far-fetched. I think that just like with the Erik ten Hag and Ruben Amorim situation, I believe that they have a stack of money. Not like a stack of money right next to them. That's like 2 rack sacks of money. They have money. They have money for transfers. And I've always believed that was to be the case. Absolutely. Sniper Man. Also, Sal, do you think AC Milan were wrong in signing Modric? That signing is getting hated, their own fans. I don't think so, Sniper Man. I think he'd be very good in Serie A. Serie A is a notoriously slower league. I think it will fit Modric, and I wish Modric the best of luck. I understand where AC Milan are coming from. AC Milan want to build a much younger team. But what they also have to understand is that they have been underachieving serially over the last decade or so, AC Milan, and they need to start performing again because they're the biggest club in Italy in regards to the Champions League titles, etc. So, look, I understand the frustration in regards to AC Milan, but I wouldn't be crying if I signed Luka Modric. I mean, at the end of the day, I know he's getting on a little bit, but he's a good player for them. He will steady the ship a little bit at AC Milan. Of course, Inter Milan and Napoli have been dominating Italian football. Even Juve have been dominating Italian football. AC Milan need to come back. They need to come back because they're a big club, massive club, probably the biggest in Italy. So, I would say that, I understand the frustrations, but they got a little bit more patient in regards to Luka Modric, of course. Kenny, imagine in the last words staying at Leverkusen. Imagine that. He's too expensive for me. I wouldn't pay that much money. They got one thing tight in there, Ted Lasso, the English media and fans. Yep. Morning all. Don't forget Saudi got Tony for 40 million and Arsenal got Raya for 30 million. Brentford seem to be adding the tax on promo. Yes, they are. But at the end of the day, what I would say about that, Mark, is that when a player wants to leave the club, when a player openly says that they want to leave the club, it becomes very difficult to keep them because if you keep them, it's a disgruntled player, isn't it? It's a player that wants to leave and then you're just going to hurt yourself and harm yourself. So ultimately, they need to sell the player. It could be 50, 60 million between that mark. Of course, I've been saying that since yesterday, 55 plus 10 million, 50 plus 10 million, around that mark. Man United did offer 45 plus 10 million, which is a little bit on the low side. I think if Man United do 55 plus 10, I think Man United get it through the door. I think this deal could be wrapped up pretty soon. I really do. Hopefully by the end of the week, we get the confirmation because obviously it is the 6th of June. The window closes on the 10th. It does open on the 16th. We don't have to wait too long. So, you know what? At the end of the day, if we get it done this week, fantastic. But it's not the end of the world if we don't get it done this week, in my opinion. I think we're going to get it done anyway before the season starts. That would mean hopefully we get Mbeumo, Cunha, and Gyökeres. If we could get Mbeumo, Cunha, and Gyökeres by the start of the season, I would be absolutely delighted. I'd be incredibly delighted. I think that would be brilliant. But we need 5 or 6 players. I don't think we're going to get 5 or 6 players through the door that quickly by the start of the 6th season. The amount of work that needs to be done, the players that need to leave this football club, we're struggling to get rid of players at the moment. Sancho is a big issue, of course, as well. Massive issue at Manchester United. And I feel like we're going to struggle to get rid of Sancho unless something comes in from Saudi Arabia. And then it depends on changing Sancho, whether he wants to go as well. My feeling is that many of these players want to run down their contract. You know, they want to run down their contract. They want to get the money. They want to get the big payoff when they go to another club. That's what they want to do. Unfortunately, it's the way of the beast. And a lot of these players that we have are mercenaries. Yeah, guys, absolutely. Fan, wonder how they're going to cope the generational talent matures, what their excuses will be. Exactly. Big up, Irfan. Also, Ted Lasso has been renewed for 1 more season. Good morning, Eileen. What's going on? Looks like our players didn't seem interested for other clubs. Not a single bid. We don't know that, Ellen. We don't know that. One thing's for sure. We don't sit down next to the computer and we don't see the bids. So what? In regards to Garnacho, there is bids. There is interest. Not so much bids. That's wrong. But there is interest in Garnacho. There is interest in Anthony. There is. Just because you don't see the bids doesn't mean there's nothing going in. You know, some things are kept close to your chest. And one thing we've learned about Ineos and we've learned about this whole regime that we've got is that they do keep their cards close to their chest. And, we don't hear nothing about it until a few days before the transfer. Then we suddenly hear that, oh, blah, blah, blah is going to there, or we're getting this player, etc. And that's one thing, that's one thing. But let's not jump. I do believe that we're going to get rid of Anthony, and I do believe that Garnacho will, if we transfer listed Garnacho, if we got rid of Garnacho, I think there would be no shortage of buyers. I really do. I think Garnacho would turn out to be a fantastic player at Napoli. Napoli are interested in Garnacho, very interested in Garnacho, and I think he will suit Napoli to a T. I think he'd be brilliant at Napoli. In regards to Anthony, you've got Atletico Madrid, who are interested in Anthony, Leverkusen, who have inquired about Anthony. Nothing in regards of a bid has gone in, but that's not to say that a bid won't go in, of course. We have to be patient. Absolutely. Sal, Osimhen deal Al Hilal is complicated because Osimhen has agreed to join Al Hilal. He hasn't agreed to join yet. That deal is still complicated. What I would say is that Gyökeres is my first choice now to come to Manchester United. My second choice would be Osimhen. If he comes to Manchester United, it'd be fantastic. Both fabulous players, both fantastic players, very similar. I would love either one of those players at the football club. It does look like Ruben Amorim wants Gyökeres, and I support that at the end of the day. If we can't get Gyökeres through the door, then go after Osimhen. Osimhen deal is struggling. It is a little bit difficult to do because obviously Osimhen's wages are astronomical. So I would prefer Gyökeres at the moment because I'm feeling that Osimhen and his wage demands are a little bit steep in my opinion. But yeah, let's see what happens. Mike Forgus, Gyökeres, whatever, mate. It doesn't really matter, does it? At the end of the day, it also closing in 4 or 5 days. Yeah, but it opens. It opens again, mate. It opens again on the 16th of June, mate. 16th. Gyökeres. Whoever was, guys. At the end of the day, you say tomato, I say tomato. You say potato, I say potato. Whatever. Gyökeres. Yeah, Gyökeres. I've been told on TikTok, guys, you've got to do something with your time, man. Honestly, God, I say Mike Fogus. I say Gyökeres, I say Gyökeres, I say Gyökeres. I don't care, mate. I don't really care how it's pronounced at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's not some godly name that I have to pronounce right. People pronounce my name wrong all the time. That's why I call myself Sal. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't really care. Not the end of the world. Good morning, Sal. Good morning, Randy. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're well. Good to see you. Ellen and the reopening 16th of June. Yeah. Say his name and he appears. I believe Gyökeres. My friend, obviously, big up my friend, the wrestler, of course. Been on the channel, guys. Kenny, been on the channel. Absolutely. I believe, definitely. Absolutely. Very, very, very good. Very good. Big up. That's funny, Kenny. Big up. Every year, United is broke. I know. You hear the noises. UK Darren, Manchester United is a special club with a big pool. Rivals can do one. Man, we're just different. Darren. We're just a different team. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't sound smug, but you know, many of us know, Darren, that, you know, Man United's history, where we come from. And if anyone researches our history, I urge you to do that, you know, and go through our history, where we come from. And not only 58, I'm going before that to the Newton Heath days, you know, learn about Manchester United, where we came from, who we are, the pioneers, or we were the first of everything. You know, Manchester United is a massive club. And you know what? But teams like Newcastle can't really match up to us. And this is why they're really, really down, because they can have their sugar daddies. They can have their Saudi Arabian ownership. They'll still never be as big as Man United. In fact, Man United will be back. You know, Man United will be back. You know, they're celebrating because they won the League Cup. You know, at the end of the day, you know, if we won a League Cup, we'll be, you know, there'll be members of the fan base who are still crying for the manager to be sacked. You know what I mean? That's the difference. We are the 5th healthiest club in regards to PSR, absolutely. Cash injection, obviously. Big up, Philip. Monisel, great show. It's hurling at for me at the moment, but great to jump in for a catch-up on my beloved Man United. Limerick, you're a lady. Our song, have a listen. Limerick, you're a lady. I might have heard that. I might have done Limerick, you're a lady. I like Limerick as the place. There's a place called Limerick, very beautiful. Limerick as in you're the lady. I'll have a listen to it, mate. I have a listen to it. Absolutely. But actually it's pronounced with a letter U, Gyökeres. So I've been saying it right, Ellen. I can't see the big problem as everyone understands who he is talking about. I don't know. Some people are fussy, mate. Some people are fussy. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, you could say Sarah or you could say Sarah. You know what? You can have a H at the end of the Sarah, or you can have no H. It could be Sarah or Sarah. Or it just be Sarah. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Yeah. Funny. Big up, my Ellen, by the way. Do they forget Ineos invested healthy billion in the club? They forget, mate. But what I would say, Irfan, what I would say is that this is what Man United should be doing. Man United had 30 years of success. You know, we should be able to make these deals. Do you know what I mean? We should be able to get players that we want. We shouldn't only be able to get one player as well. We should be able to get backup players as well. We should be able to get a squad of players. But unfortunately, the way we're run, it's just people. We become so. How do you say it? Please, sir, can I have some more, sir? Sort of thing. Oh my goodness me! Thank you, Jim Ratcliffe. Thank you. And that's what it be. But in reality, we should be doing these deals. We should be absolutely. You know what I mean? Sal, do you smell what Amram is cooking? I do, and it smells delicious. Can't wait for it. Absolutely. Isiar Mohammed, I'm going to call you. Big up, my friend. Morning. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Ephraim, what's going on? Good to see you back, Ephraim. Good morning, Sal. If we get signed Gyökeres, it will be a dreamland. Absolutely will be. If we get Mbuemo, Cunha, and Gyökeres, it's a dreamland. For some. Some people are still criticizing the players that we're signing. Some people are still saying that Gyökeres is not good enough. There are people out there saying that he's a glorified Rasmus. Guys, look, you're never going to please some people. Personally, I just don't like people who have affiliations with players when the players don't really care about them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we sign a player, support the player, and that's who we got. And if we sign any player we want, even if it's not my choice, I'll be happy with that. You know, I'll be happy with that. You know, and I think that people are going over the top with this. Oh, Gyökeres, he's just a bully. He's just like Erasmus. You know, with what did they say? What did I hear? What was it? It's just like Rasmus with finishing, something like that. Well, I mean, that's cruel, isn't it? We are owned by billionaires, always pinching out the pennies. Absolutely, Randy, spot on. Koku, my friend, I know you've been asked it a lot, but Osimhen to Saudi fanning off. Which victor would you pick if things were equal? I like both of them, Coco. I love both of them players. I think they're fantastic players, both of them. I would edge towards Gyökeres at the moment because the reason I would edge towards Gyökeres is because of Ruben Amorim effect. I think the Ruben Amorim effect would be important for Man United. He won't struggle to fit into the system. He'll walk straight into the team, know what the system's about. And I think that would be really good for Man United and really good for Ruben Amorim to have someone who actually understands the system. And also he's 26, 27 years old, I believe. Very, very experienced and can score goals. 49 goals this season. Absolutely incredible amount of goals. That is ridiculous. I just hope that we get him. So, you know, I don't want to be looking down the line and regretting that, if only we signed Gyökeres, if only we'd done that, would have been, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that at the end of the day. Imagine we get these. Cunha, Bruno, and Rio asking Trincao would make them go into asylums. Yeah, well, we're not going to get Trincao now, my friend. Randy, 60 million is fair price pay up. And that's what I'm talking about, Earthfan, by the way. You know, don't just get one. Don't rest on your laurels. Get another one. Get someone to back up, because if we get injuries, who we got, you know, at the end of the day. There you go. You know what I mean? There you are. So, but unfortunately, we're in this position where we can't do it. 60 million is a fair price pay up. Big up, Randy. Big up. I agree. I'm excited for Gyökeres, even though I've only seen one full game of his. If we need to, so I've seen a lot of games of him. Absolutely very impressed. I've been watching. Luckily, here in the UAE, Revert 7. Big up Revert 7, by the way. Luckily in UAE, I get to see all the teams. I get to see, you know, on Todd, you can see every single game, which is great. You can see every single game, and you know, you get to see other bits, including Portuguese football. So I know a lot about Trincao, Gyökeres, John Cowes, all these players. I know a lot about them, and I do watch them. I do watch a lot of football, and yeah, I'm watching Sporting Lisbon. I watched their title run and stuff like that, which was fantastic. Definitely really good player, a guy that scores goals. You cannot deny the goal scoring. The 49 goals, you cannot deny that. It's a bit like Mbeumo. You know, you cannot deny a number 10 playing for Brentford scoring 20 goals. You can't deny that. That is talent, right? Playing on the right, scoring 20 goals. Even Robbie of AFTV, Lee Gunner, you know, even these people are saying that Mbeumo, what a signing. You know what I mean? Cunha, what a signing. Man United mean business at the end of the day, you know, and that's what I mean. You know, we don't want to get into a situation where, you know, we're missing out on these players. We're missing out on Gyökeres, because I believe if we have these three players, just those three players alone, I believe that Man United will be powerful next season. Ephraim. So we have to be fast in the striker situation. We want to let another club will come in. Yes, hopefully we don't snooze and lose. Like obviously Gwen down that. Big up Revert 7. Hopefully we don't snooze and lose. If we land Cunha and Mbeumo Gyökeres, I would never ever say a bad thing about Ineos again. Look, Ellen, I'm not going to jump like that. I'm not going to start dancing up and down on the Ineos train, because at the end of the day, this is Manchester United money, Ellen. You know what I mean? So Man United should be doing these deals. They should be doing these deals. This is Manchester United money. They should be doing these deals. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm not going to jump up and dance and shout. You know what I mean? I would say, well done, Wilcox. Congratulations. Well done on getting the player, convincing the player to come to Man United. I would do that. But in regards to spending money, I don't think we should be overly giddy. You know what I mean? And plus, let's wait and see. We still need a midfielder, a defender, right back, another central defender, and a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So let's see what happens. Let's play it by ear, of course. Mohammed, thank you for doing your great work, for keeping us up to date about our beloved club. I can't wait for front three of Mbeumo, Cunha, and Gyökeres. Big up, Mohammed. Love the comment, my friend. You're welcome. And thank you so much for joining me today, my guy. Thank you so much. You legend. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nujabal, big up. Morning all. I'd go for Osimhen. Gyökeres feels like a more counter-attacking striker. Osimhen would suit a high-press Baz. Obviously, it's subjective. It's subjective. Football is always going to be subjective, Baz. And, you know, the one thing I would say is that if Man United get Gyökeres or Osimhen, I'll be delighted with either one of those players. I'll be happy with either one of those players. If Man United get one of them, I'll be happy if we get one of them through the door. Because at the end of the day, considering when Man United finished last season and the downer that we were in, especially after the Europa League final, for us to get these players in the door, it's good to have a good bit of positivity coming into the club, isn't it? It's good to have this vibes coming into the club about, you know, with Osimhen and Gyökeres and Cunha and Mbeumo. And we're talking about these players, you know what I mean? Like we're in the Champions League. Now, can you imagine that Man United were in the Champions League, how it would be? Jonah Tech, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Wouldn't get too wound up about sales just yet. This is a tiny, normal window. That's only because, absolutely, Jonah Tech, I agree, of the World Cup. Main window, we'll see the majority of the sales. I agree with Jonah Tech. Plenty of time to come, but no reason why we can't get the deals done and we can't get as much done as possible. If we get Mbeumo done by the end of this week, I think we've done a very good job. We can get Mbeumo done by the end of this week and we have Cunha in. I think we've done good. Absolutely. Yale, good morning. Didn't the Aussie deal fall through last night because he wanted 900k a week? I don't know. I haven't really said it. I wouldn't believe too much in the speculation. 900k seems a little bit steep, if you ask me. Not even Cristiano Ronaldo gets 900k a week. Gyökeres for me, he's a monster and a goal machine. Me too, mate. Me too. He's just about my favourite. I didn't want Garnacho to go, but rather he plays abroad than the Premier League. Look, I'm a big fan of, people know me. They know I'm a big fan of Garnacho. I don't like selling our young players. Unfortunately, we're in a situation now that we may have to. It's not only about Manchester United, it's about what Garnacho wants. It looks like Garnacho does want to leave the football club. Sad as it is because we had such high hopes for him, but obviously attitude does play a part. And I backed him all season, as I did with Rasmus. I backed them all season. And to be honest with you, I'm at that period now. I'm at that situation now where if they don't want to play for the football club, then you know where the door is, and this is where we go. That's what I would say. If you don't want to play, all right, we move on from someone else. And do you want to go? Yes, okay, we'll sell you and stuff like that. I don't want this to drag on. One thing I don't want this to drag on all summer. I don't want this to drag on all summer, and we're here a few days before the season starts, and we still got Garnacho and Rashford and Anthony and players like that. I want these players to go. I want them to be clear about it. Sancho's going to be the difficult one because Jadon Sancho obviously he's a mercenary. He wants to be paid off. He wants his money and stuff like that. So, that's going to be difficult. So why do people in our fan base doubt Gyökeres? Because this is exactly what I'm talking about, Ephraim, and I've been talking about this all week. Right? There's some people in our fan base that doubt Mbeumo. There's some people that doubt Cunha. There's some people that doubt Gyökeres. The reason they do that is a very low IQ football knowledge kind of thing, right? People have their favorite players. I have my favorite players. I like Turkey. At the end of the day, doesn't matter for me. We got Mbeumo, right? There's people who don't like certain players because their favorite player is Osimhen, Their favorite player is Jonathan David, or their favorite player was Turkey. I want Turkey. I don't want Mbeumo. I want Turkey. Mbeumo's not good. Mbeumo's fat. Mbeumo's this. I've heard a lot of things. It just shows a very low intelligence in regards to football opinion, because we all know that Gyökeres is a fantastic player. We all know that Mbeumo is a fantastic Premier League player. We know that Cunha is as well. If Arsenal or Liverpool or Chelsea signed Mbeumo, Cunha, and Gyökeres, we'll be looking at them going, my goodness me, Chelsea are cooking, Man City are cooking, Liverpool are cooking. That's what we do. Unfortunately, we've got a fickle section of the fan base who prefer certain players. So their defense mechanism is to slander the players we purchase. Right? That's what they do. They slander the players we purchase. Now, look, me, I'm one of them people, right, who I'm very critical. I'm subjective. I question myself every time, right? Every time I question myself. I watch football. I was looking at Mbeumo last season. I was looking at Gyökeres last season and Cunha. And I'm trying to dislike them. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say, are they that good, though? Are they that good? Have they impressed me? Bloody hell, he's good. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And they prove me wrong every single time. But some people can't go beyond their realms of narrative. That is the problem with it. And unfortunately, when we get into that, that's when we get into Player FC. We're not getting into Manchester United FC. And I don't take their opinion seriously. I don't. Because there's been many players around the world that I've wanted in the past. I remember I wanted Alessandro Del Piero. I remember I wanted Roberto Baggio. I remember I wanted Zinedine Zidane, Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf. I wanted all these players to play for Manchester United. Back in the old days, I wanted Stuart Ripley to play for Manchester United. I wanted Chris Sutton to play for Manchester United. I wanted Alan Shearer to play for Man United, but he didn't play for Man United. And what did Man United do? Man United was successful. So I think we should just leave it to the experts. I think we should leave it to Ruben Amram and whoever, and basically just support the players that we bring in. Support the players that we bring in. They're playing for Manchester United. They chose Manchester United. They love Manchester United. Now, let's move it on. Absolutely. Big up, Ephraim. We start bringing our players over sell, etc. Højlund, a bad season he's had. They're still interested in him. Europe, yeah. Look, it's difficult for Rasmus. It's very difficult for Rasmus. He's coming to a team that has been toxic, and he's been asked to lead the line for Manchester United. And the playing in front of 77,000 every single week, expecting to be that main guy. Some players have got it. Some players that haven't. Unfortunately, when you go a few games without scoring, the pressure starts getting. It's more so than any other striker. And I remember Diego Forlan. I remember even Andy Cole. I remember struggling when they went on a barren run. Obviously, it didn't last as long as Rasmus. But I think that Rasmus is a young player that I believe we should send on loan if we get another striker in, because I don't think he's going to get enough game time. But if he wants to fight for his place, if he wants to believe that he's going to be that player, I'm going to support him at the end of the day. And I hope that he comes good. And I hope that he gets nurtured and he learns from the players, the players that come in. United Road. United will never die. Absolutely, United Road. Absolutely, mate. Guys, don't get me wrong. I'll be happy Gyökeres goals win games. Absolutely, Baz. As I said, Baz, look, you know what? I said it a lot. I ain't exclusively onto one player. I would love Osimhen at Man United. I would. But obviously, I would support whoever comes to the football club, of course. Being linked with these names, considering that we came 15th in the league, being linked with these names is just, fantastic still. There's a lot of self-righteousness. There's a lot of entitlement in the fan base, and I just feel like we should be lucky that we support Manchester United right now. You know what I mean? That's what we used to say, because any other team who can 15, look at Tottenham right now. Look at Spurs right now. What are Spurs doing? What are Spurs doing right now? Nothing. And they're in the Champions League. It's madness at the end of the day. Guys, is this the scariest? If Man United get Gyökeres, if Man United get Cunha and Bremo, would this be the scariest rebuild in football history? Now, I bring back scary rebuilds, right? One of the best rebuilds I've seen was the Chelsea rebuild, which was when the Jose Mourinho walked into Chelsea, and they got obviously Ferreira, and they got Deco, and they got obviously Thiago, Drogba, and these sort of players. I remember that rebuild, and I thought that was a very ruthless rebuild. Carvalho, you remember? A very ruthless rebuild, and I thought that was a very ruthless rebuild. If Man United get Gyökeres, Cunha, and Bremo, and we end up getting a midfielder like a Wharton or an Edison or someone of that ilk, and then we end up getting a right wing back, a defender, and a goalkeeper, you have to say this is the most ruthless rebuild in Manchester United history, if not Premier League history. Because you're looking at where we came in the league, you're looking at having no European football, and you're looking at Man United still attracting these players. This is scary. This is ruthless. This is terrifying, this rebuild. If Man United pull it off, if Man United get Gyökeres, Cunha, and we got Cunha, and we get and Bremo, mate, and then we end up getting a midfielder and a goalkeeper, and you cannot say anything other than this is an absolutely ruthless rebuild, and it probably is the most scariest rebuild in Premier League history, absolutely. This is not vocabulary. It does not matter. Yeah, it does not matter. I mean, I don't think anyone is saying it right. Gyökeres. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say his name. There are many top centre forwards compared to nines. Absolutely not, bruv. Kids in the 20s grew up wanting to be a floating attacking player like Messi. People don't understand the number nines that were around when I was younger. The talent that is regressed these days, it's regressed immensely. 80s kids, basically. It comes from 80s and beyond. If you knew in the 90s, the strikers that we had around Europe, every single team had great strikers. Every team. As I've said, Southampton had Matt Letizia. You know what I mean? Coventry had Dion Dublin. You know what I mean? These sort of teams had these sort of players. Aston Villa had Dwight York. And then you go on to Tottenham had Jurgen Klinsmann. I could go all the way through the teams, guys. Sheffield Wednesday had David Hurst, and Paolo Di Canio. West Ham had Florent Roger-Troyu, and obviously later on they had Di Canio as well. But they had Florent Roger-Troyu and Tony Cottee and players like that who are very, very good players. Not least when you talk about Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal. When Arsenal had Ian Wright and Dennis Bergkamp, and later on had Henry and Elka and teams like that. Man United had Dwight York and Andy Cole and Mark Hughes, and at the end of the day. And obviously Liverpool had Robbie Fowler, and of course, I remember players like Titi Kamara, players like that were brilliant players. You know what I mean? Stan Collymore, there you go. It has really regressed over the years, unfortunately. Once upon a time, United won the best 11 in Europe. Fast forward 25, we're 50th and lost to a nation 11. What could go wrong in 25? The lower possibilities are favouring us. Watch this space. Just have to keep positive, my guys. You have to keep positive, and that's what it is. We're still Man United. We'll never die, and we will be back. Absolutely. If he scores goals, we'll be happy. Absolutely. I think people will forget that, but the problem is that we have a section of the fan base who will be vying on blood. They'll be after blood if he doesn't score in the first couple of games. And that is the problem that we're going to have, of course. I told you we should have signed Osimhen. I told you we should have signed him. I told you. And that's what I don't want at the end of the day. Yamal's another level. The man won on the match. Mbappe and Desiree Doué are there. Yeah, Yamal's a good player. Comes once every 20 years, unfortunately. We must take the gaffer once. Absolutely, bruv. Absolutely, Randy. Gladiator King, good morning. After being linked to United, Gyökeres is a one-trick pony, according to analysts. And Cunha walks around the pitch as well, apparently. All that business. We've heard it all, haven't we, Gladiator, this last week? I'm glad that someone mentioned something about the Chelsea player. I think, was it a Chelsea player or was it Liam Delap? How long he's been walking around the pitch? Someone done a thing and he's walked longer than Cunha. It's ridiculous, isn't it? No one talks about Chelsea. No one talks about the players they bring in, how much they're spending. No one talks about how much Man City are spending. No one talks about the players they're bringing in. No one talks about how Turkey only done it in France. I know it's wrong to talk like that, but they do that with Man United, don't they? They continually slander the players we bring in. Is Gyökeres now? He's with Sweden, I think. Now he was on holiday, and I think he's with Sweden. Absolutely. Irfan, 2026, bigger Irfan. He scored 64 62 appearances. Even if he drops off half that in the Premier League, it'll be absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Big up, Timo. Thank you so much, my guy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big up yourself. Very, very kind of you and very generous of you, my friend. Thank you. Glory, glory, Man United. Welcome to the family, my guy. And haters only slating him because they can't get him. Exactly. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. If Chelsea signed Cunha, Bremo, and Gyökeres, I'd be like, that is how you do it. That is a rebuild. Even if Arsenal sign him, that is a rebuild. I wouldn't be hating. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be hating. If Arsenal signs Supermendy, I'd be like, that's a good buy. But with Man United, you know what it is, Timo? You know what it is? I think it's fear. I think they fear the wounded beast. I think they fear the rebirth of Manchester United. That's what I fear. I fear that they believe that when Man United reopen, when Man United come alive again, it's going to be, it's a bit like, the Antichrist coming back and Man United are back, you know what I mean? And this is what they don't want. They're scared. They're scared of Manchester United. They're scared of us coming back because I believe we're sleeping. And I believe that this league is not strong. It's not strong at all. And I think if Man United strengthen, who knows where we can go? Who knows what we can do? Because if Man United strengthen, given the fan base, the revenue that we acquire, everything like that, I think that Man United can go places that we never expected them to go. I really do. Because I don't believe that this is the best Liverpool side. I don't believe that. I don't believe that this is the best Man City side. I don't believe it's the best Arsenal side that I've ever seen. So I think that there's a lot that could happen next season. Big up, Timo. Thank you so much for your generosity, my guy. Thank you very much. UK Darren, Timo, 100%. Yeah, big up, Darren, the legend. He is a goal machine. Get him, absolutely. Big up, Ephraim. Yeah, more goals. Watch us climb up that table. Watch it, mate. Watch it. All you need to look at. We had a 3-goal, I think it was a 3-goal difference between Aston Villa and Man United. But the goals we scored were wrong. So we had one of the best defensive records in the Premier League, but we couldn't score goals. And now imagine we scored goals. And imagine we added goals to our game, There you go. United Road. If I was told we would sign Cunha and Bremo Gyökeres and forced to keep Onana for one more season, I'd bite their hand off. Our defense minus Onana is already shaping up well. I like our defense. I think we've got a very good young defense. We've got obviously Aiden Heaven, we got Yoro, we got De Ligt, some people don't want Maguire, but we got Licha Martinez, who is happily gratefully fit for the preseason. He's fit for the preseason, is Licha Martinez. Let's hopefully he can stay fit. I do think we need one more defender. I'm still a little bit undecided on Harry Maguire as a first-team defender. I think that we need one more defender. If we could bring in one more defender, it'd be great. But at the same time, we could say that we got Fredrickson and we got Kolungi coming through as well, which is fantastic as well. So a lot to be positive about. I do believe that our midfield is a little bit of a grey area in regards to that. I do think we need another guy in there. Although I believe in Ugarte. I believe Ugarte is a good player. You know, Ugarte, what people don't understand about Ugarte is that Ugarte never had a preseason. Ugarte came in late, obviously had some good games, had some bad games, but just like the likes of, Gravenberch, players of that ilk, they had poor starts of the season. They had poor first seasons, but then they get used to the Premier League. So that's what we have to say, of course. United no longer ordering players for Timu. Pick up. Randy, other clubs never complain about PSI. Why do we? It's a defense mechanism against them. It's trying to give the illusion that we got no money. That's what it is. It's a pre-excuse, Randy. What I would say. Good morning, Sal. They say that the player's exceptional until the player plays. I only want United haters. Absolutely. Guys, be honest with yourselves. Right? Let's take off our Man United hats for a minute. Right? If Newcastle United, Champions League, bid for you, right? And if Man United bid for you, no Champions League, no European football. You know what? We're neutral. Who would you go to? Be honest. You would go to Man United because it's Man United. Newcastle. You know what I mean? Newcastle they spent 100 years trying to win a League Cup. You know what I mean? It's madness at the end of the day, you know? Is PSR United law? Big up, Randy. Probably. I love Garnacho. Big up United Road. Yeah. It might be. It does look like Garnacho is going to Napoli, though. I'm hearing a lot of things. I'm very connected. People know me, my Naples connections and stuff like that. I'm connected to Napoli, and they are heavily interested in Garnacho. I think that would be a fabulous move for Garnacho. I think if Garnacho went to Napoli, I think that'd be a brilliant move for him. I really do think that'd be a brilliant move for him. I think it'd be good for him. But it'd be sad for us to let a young player go, because I was raised that when we never let our young players go, we didn't do that. But obviously, attitude problems, all these things that you've been hearing, I don't want to believe everything I hear. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that is fabricated. But you know what? If he does go, I wish him the best of luck. He's a young lad, and I wish him the best of luck, as I do all the time. Ima Barak Kazi, thank you so much. Big up. Morning, Sal. Big up the chat community. Big up, Step. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well, of course. Sancho, aka 3 to 5. Did you see that video, United Road, of Sancho? Oh, my goodness. It was so funny. I got to bring that into the stream. It was so funny. I mean, I loved it. If I can find it, let me see if I can find it. It was so funny. I had to laugh, guys. I really did have to laugh. You know, I did have to laugh. Let me see if I can find it now. If I can find it. Who posted it? Let me see who posted it. Let me see who posted it, because I've forgotten who posted it. Let me see. I know. There we go. I think I've got it. See if I can get it. Right, let me play this to you, because it is so funny. I mean, I have to share that. I have to lighten up the mood. Guys. Let's do this. Present. Share screen. All right, here we go.
Manchester United. It was a terrible time for me.
Greatest fighter for freedom, Jadon Sancho.
3 years ago, I was captured and enslaved by a Red Devil organization known as Manchester United. It was a terrible time for me. Every week they pay me £250,000 and force me to accept it every single week. Can you imagine what I experienced? They did not treat me like a free man, but treated me like some sort of professional footballer. They demanded that I pass, score goals and train every day. It was a terrible time for me. After every training, I sat in my Rolls Royce, arrived at my mansion and started crying for being treated like a slave. But the worst of it all was the cruelest master called Erik ten Hag. He did not allow me to play FIFA all night. He confiscated my DualShock so that I could not play Call of Duty anymore. But now I am a free man from the Conference League. Chelsea is a land of liberty where I can play 17 minutes of football, sit on the bench and smell the air of freedom. Oh, I have a dream that one day football players will not be judged by their performance, but will be judged by their FIFA division rating. I have a dream that one day playing like a piece of shit will be acceptable. Let freedom ring from the Manchester bench to the Chelsea bench. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Manchester, from every mountainside.
Sorry, guys, I had to do that. Absolutely. Is he today? Yeah, I think it's today. Some people tomorrow. Big up. Mark, we should buy all 4 attackers. We need 2 number 9s, as there is 4 attackers leaving with Garnacho. I agree, mate. Good point, Mark. Absolutely. Dabby says, good morning. How you doing? Hope you're well. Imagery, absolutely. Imagery to everyone celebrating. Thank you so much. Big up. Big up, everyone. So I can't believe Osimhen and a Saudi deal collapsed. Maybe it's our chance. Maybe. But, I mean, I think we'll be going after Gyökeres now. Is Osimhen signs for United? Half of the Chelsea's North African fans will follow him. Only thing is, though, let me say, we got the AFCON coming up, fam. Ahmad, Mbuemo, Osimhen. 3 players going to AFCON. Onana going to AFCON. Mazraoui going to AFCON. That's 5 players right there. I mean, it's going to be dodgy. We need a squad. We need a squad. Randy, big up, Jim, big up everyone, of course, on this very lovely day. Big up, Pearl. Big up, everyone. Holding my breath for Gyökeres now. Big up, Pearl. Don't hold too long. You know what Man United are like. They do take their time. Erasmus is a lost cause. Malu, big up yourself. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Ema Barak, I wish you're happy. Big up, everyone, of course. Big up, everyone. Guys, Osimhen has slight experience in regards to a competitive league. Well, you could say that Gyökeres has got more Champions League goals, I think. You know, you could argue that, but it is a double-edged sword. We do what the manager wants. Spurs won the UEFA Cup, are in the Champions League, but are still Spurs, absolutely. Jonah Tech. United also being linked with a new centre-back now. Oumar Soleil, yeah, spoke about him many times on the channel. Centre-back who enjoys carrying the ball, yeah. Spoke about him many times on the channel, absolutely. Yole, yeah. We are Ule. I don't think we need him. I think we've got some good young players coming through. Sal, but we might get him. He is cheap as well. Sal, do you think we can buy Gyökeres without selling anybody? Yes. But we still need to sell players to equal the books. I think we can. We got up to 256 on our FFP, so we should be able to do it. Last year, we sorted out our defense. This year, it's about our goal scoring, and our goalkeeper is worked on. We need a new goalkeeper. I don't think you can work on that. He's a lost cause. We need more than one striker, create competition. Absolutely. Chelsea had Makelele as well in 2006. Yeah, he came before, though. Fiorentina were top 6 team in Serie A and had an iconic FC Battistuta. Top team in Serie A, and they had yeah. They were brilliant. Rui Costa, you remember him? Revert 7. Mate, Bruno Fernandes' surname is pronounced Fernandes. Yeah. Yet no one only cares. Only weirdos complain about Gyökeres pronounced. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. Obrigado. Esta bem. I know that. Yeah, see, I've been around Portugal. People just crazy. I know Bruno Fernandes' brother. He'd only say Bruno Fernandes. You say Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. So don't forget Bobby Zamora and Clint Dempsey of Fulham. they were a little bit afterwards, though. They were in the early turn of the century, weren't they? 2000. I remember Bobby Zamora way back in when he played for Brighton. I remember him, you know, and he was banging in the goals back then. Strikers were proper strikers back then. Strikers were proper strikers back then, absolutely. Kenny, I had a problem with pronouncing names like Bastian Schweinsteiger. I mean, it's not a big deal, is it? You know what I mean? Gyökeres agrees. Yeah, absolutely. Last season we lost about 20 points for player mistakes, goalkeeper mistakes, Randy. Yeah, I mean, 20 points just for Onana mistakes. Zubamendi wants to stay in Spain. That's what I've heard. Yes, he does. Arsenal jumped too soon. Good morning, British Bulldog. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. 45 goals for Cunha and Bruno, easy. Acuna, Mbeumo, and Bruno, easy. Yeah, we need a striker, though. None of them are number 9s. Sal, between Wharton and Kamara and Monaco, who do you pick at the centre midfield? Wharton, Frere, because he's Premier League experience. Very good player. Very good player, honestly. The Empire Embassy will strike back, absolutely. FA 45 between and 30 guys out of guaranteed. We need a striker, though. I'm Sleeping Giant will awaken. Absolutely, revert 7. Absolutely. If we keep Banana, we better score a couple of extra goals per game. Can't have him cost us 20. I agree, Yale. I agree with that. Attack wins your games. Defense wins your titles. I think we got a decent one growing defense. I think we got a couple of generational defenders coming through. Decent. Yuri Nator, Groovy, big up yourself. I haven't heard much about him, but I'm sure Man United, if he's good, Man United would be interested in. Big up Groovy, good to see you back. Even if United sign a prime Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, they will still slander us so that they shows they are scared. They are scared of us, Johnson. Of course they are. This is what they fear. They fear that we're going to come back. And they fear that signing these players is just going to, honestly, they should be scared. We've been bantered. We're going to be back, guys, and we're going to get our banter back. Don't worry about that. So, yes, we hardy palmed loads of 3-0. Absolutely. Big up, Daniel. If we had 3 forwards plus a goalkeeper plus a good central midfielder, we can win the league. I mean, never mind European places, Randy. You got to aim high. Exactly. You got to aim high. Absolutely. DSC, what's going on? Gyökeres by no means a one-trick pony. He bangs in goals, provides assists, good at carrying absolutely the ball and breaking the lines. He takes free kicks and penalties. Thank you, DSC. Thank you so much, my friend. I agree with that, mate. I agree with that. Absolutely. We need competition for those free kicks as well. You know, I wouldn't take the penalties off Bruno. I think Bruno is very good. I think Bruno's the best penalty taker in the world. That's part of his stats, by the way. So I would say that taking the free kicks and corners, definitely give it to Gyökeres. Revert 7. Maguire is back in central defence. Back to delete. Revert 7. And believe it, Leacher is fit. He's fit. Yeah, he's ready for the preseason. Excited to Gyökeres finally getting a striker who can bag 20 plus goals in the last time that happened. 2003 RVP. Absolutely, Percival Sovereign. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. You're in heaven. The side, absolutely, bruv. Future is bright, mate. Future's bright. Mazri and Martinez on the other side, centre backs. Big up, mate. We are going to hear more Steve's goal spoilers. Watch this space. Yeah, we're going to hear them. I mean, I'm doing a watch-along on Sunday. Hopefully he joins me for that one, for the Europa League final. I'm doing the England game as well tomorrow, guys. Don't forget to join me for that as well. Yale, Conte would get the best out of Garnacho for sure. I don't think anyone should be able to get the best out of Garnacho. You get the best out of yourself. You know what I mean? That's what you say. You shouldn't have to have someone to get the best out of you. You know what I mean? That, you know, is Ronaldo getting the best from himself, from the manager at Saudi? No, you know, players get the best out of themselves. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. Big up. AI can't harm you. Meanwhile, the AI, I mean, goodness me, AI. But at least you can tell it's AI at the moment for now. I mean, for now, you can tell it's AI, but I think in the future, you're not going to be able to tell it's AI, in my opinion. Jaden, freedom finder Sancho. Absolutely. God bless him. Freedom to Sancho. We all have to sell Garnacho with the right price. It has to be 60 plus, mate. You know, at the end of the day. Looks a very ungrateful person to me. He is. Jaden Manda, he is a very ungrateful. Maybe they should send him off to a supermarket and let him work for £5 an hour in a supermarket somewhere. You know what I mean? For a couple of weeks and see how it is. Goodness me. Jaden Luther King, he's back. Viva Freedom, boys. Rashi and Jason, absolutely. Definitely. Still skeptical on Gyökeres agreeing on United. Can only hope it comes from Ornstein. We hope it happens. Ornstein's not always right. Of course, he was wrong last week. So let's hope from Fabrizio is the best one to hear it from. In my opinion, United sure must look for another goalkeeper considering the AFCON Cup. Yep, we do. And I think Baender's leaving as well. So we're definitely going to have to look for a new goalkeeper. Chico, Bands, what's going on again? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We need a keeper just as urgently as a striker. And we're not doing any business. Makes me think United are planning to sign a backup keeper rather than a starter. What I would say, Chico, is that for now, Man United are not going to do every single bit of business this summer. They're not. We're going to have to get one bit done at a time. Unfortunately, that's the position that we are in. We're going to get the bits of the pitch done at a certain time. So we need a goalkeeper. I know that. It's very important. We need a goalkeeper. Hopefully, we got VTech coming back from the loan. I think VTech will be very useful for Manchester United. We also can get, I think we can get Kova for 15 million. I think Kova is very good. Don't know why we got rid of him. Bobby's my amazing signing, Championship Manager. Oh, you remember Championship Manager? Guys, oh, you don't know what you're saying, Championship Manager. Absolutely brilliant. I spent hours on that game. Bobby Commerce, keep your ass out. Yes, yeah, you got Google in front of you, Kenny. I know that. He played for Brighton, mate, as well. Brighton before that, mate. Bit of banter in it, Geezer. Absolutely agree with you. Big up. You watched the game yesterday, Spain. Yeah, fabulous game. Somebody needs to stop snap your nails, legs. Can't stand Barca in it. Absolutely. We were the last laughs out, and the UEFA Champions League hate watch will be a success. Absolutely, mate. It will be a success. We'll be doing some watch-alongs for the Champions League, of course. Morning, Grayo. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. We're off to 10B for the weekend. Have fun, my guy, for the birthday celebration on Sunday. So looking forward to a nice break. 73 likes already this morning. Big up, Grayo. Much love, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Big up, EC. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. We need to replace Evans and Linda Soft in the back. Yeah, at least one needs to be replaced. Definitely. What was that? Leacher is ready? Wasn't he all going to be out to set? No, he's ready, mate, for pre-season. I'm hearing. Antoine, what's going on? Belabor possibility? A possibility, Antoine. A low possibility, but it's possibility. He is on Manchester United's radar. Big up, Antoine. I spoke about him yesterday. If you check out the show yesterday, I spoke about him. Big up, Randy. Big up, Irfan, my friend. Big up, brother. I think thinking of supporting City. Then you can go and jump, Groovy. We don't care about who you're going to support, mate, because then you're just not a real football fan. You're just a little baby who wants success now. I want success now. Little baby wants success now. I want to support City because I've had enough. You're not a real football fan if you do that. What excites me most is if we sign Gyökeres, then we would have potentially 4 match-winning players. Bruno, Cunha, and Bremo, and Gyökeres, they could win the game on their own. Absolutely, guys, absolutely. Let me just read this tweet, guys. Yeah, by the way, Kenny, he started off at Brighton. I was right. Kenny, stop trying to correct things when you're wrong. You see, I don't even need Google. And I just said Bobby Zamora started at Brighton. He started at Brighton, went to QPR. Goodness me, you, man. Honest to God. VTech is the tall lad. Vanya is the big mountain. Vanya, I love him at Man United. I would. It's gone quiet a little bit around him. So is Mbremo been accepted or not? Not at the moment, mate. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't think the deal will take too long, though. I don't think it'll take too long. We are close. Realistically, we can sign absolutely, Daniel. I hope so. Big up. Portugal or Spain? Who's your pick for the Nations League? Portugal, mate. I want Portugal to win. Morning, Toxie. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Slabhead is also a match winner off the bench. Not as a defender, though. Too clumsy. Even Liverpool is better option for me than United. Groovy. I know you're a bit of a loser, mate. All right? And you pretend you're all these people that you're not. I know that you're a bit of a clown. But your opinions are not really warranted at the moment. I don't care if you want Liverpool. You know what I mean? I don't care, mate. I think you're very bored and lonely, mate. And I think, you know what? There are helplines that could help you in regards to that. If you've got scousitis, which is a scouser disease, it's called scousitis, that you eat rats and things. If you got that, it's up to you, Mr. Groovy. You can go on and treat yourself for that. That's fine. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. But being on a Man United channel, wasting your time, wasting my time is not what we all want, is it, at the end of the day? So on your bike, mate. Morning, Sal. How are you doing, my friend? Good morning, Marky Mark. What's going on? Hopefully the rebuild goes well. Ready for us to be back. Go Man United. Absolutely. Groovy is thinking of jumping clubs faster than... I'm not forgiving Groovy for saying that. Groovy can F himself. I hope Amarim to succeed, but in scenario, hopes he gets shattered, get these new potential players, be versatile under the manager with a different system. I hope Amarim succeeds, but in the scenario, I hope hopes get shattered. Can these new potential... Yeah. They're both two-footed. Both players are two-footed. They could play in various systems. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's over the top, mate. That's over the top, mate. We're not here for banter. You know what I mean? Like that. Had a good look at Palmeiras. What's that? Premier injuries. Injured not back until January 26. A knee injury does take time, but he could be starting rehab. No, apparently he's going to preseason. That's what I'm hearing. We'll have to wait and see. Don't believe everything you read, Yale. I know there's Google there, but Google it's not always truthful. Groovy, please stay out of this chat. Absolutely. He's annoying, isn't he? Morning, Felix. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, everyone, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to put your notifications on. I will be back later on for Chatterbox, guys. So don't forget to join me for that. Also, please don't forget to smash a like on the way out, guys. Thank you so much for the great chat. It's been fantastic. Guys, I will be back later. Have a great day, great night, great morning, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy yourself. I'll be back to see you then. Nice to see you. See you nice. Well, I will see you then anyway. Take it easy, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you for Chatterbox. Take it easy, please.